And I'm not ashamed of it because I think stay at home until you're able to put yourself in a position to. Oh, for me, I didn't do that. I don't live alone. I live alone.
That was how I was watching today's episode of Bbnaija Lockdown Highlights, and I couldn't help but ask myself that, hey, why do I have the feeling that whoever patched up these bits and pieces of the actual show, whoever put together this entire work, why do I have the feeling that this person is actually trying to send some sort of secret message to elites to let them know that, hey, even though your fave was disqualified from the show before it ended, the show is going to be about Erica. This highlight is going to be all about Erica. Why do I have that feeling?
It's not a game, it's a rich thing.
Hey guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Bbnaija, and this is Frankly Speaking with Glory. This is the girl with the tea. And on this video, guys, I'm just going to be sharing with you all just the juicy details of the day one of the Bbnaija lockdown highlights. Remember, guys, in this morning's video, I informed all of you that the lockdown highlights is starting today. Yeah, 1st of March. It's starting today on African Magic Urban and African Magic Family, 10 p.m. till 11 p.m. West African time, if I am not wrong. And I just finished watching the show and I got a lot of observations which I shared at the beginning of this video. So if it offended a lot of people, please don't be upset. It was just my observation, what I noticed. Okay, and by the way, before I continue into this video, if you are yet to subscribe to my channel, please hit the red subscribe button to become a part of this family. And if you always want to receive a lot of my videos, notifications like this, you need to hit the white bell button. It is called the post notification bell. That way, whenever I upload a new video, you'll be able to keep up with my content, especially the Bbnaija lockdown highlights as it unfolds. Let's get into the main video quickly. Just as I predicted in this morning's video, I told you guys that the highlights is going to be all about refreshing the minds of the Bbnaija audience to let them understand what's happened from the beginning of the show, which lasted for about 71 or 73 days, yes, and then ended in a space of I think 2 months and 2 weeks or 3 weeks or thereabout, but it did not last up to 3 months. I also made it a point of note to inform you guys that do not expect to watch every single thing that unfolded in the lockdown mansion the way it happened when the show was airing on channel 198. It's going to be a waste of time for the organizers of the show, okay? And I told you guys that it's just to refresh your memory. So whatever you're going to be seeing, you know, in the highlights, it's not going to be 100% the actual events that happened in the house, like in details, okay? That is why it is called highlights. What does highlight mean? It's basically those exciting, interesting and screen-worthy moments from the show, okay? Screen-worthy in the sense that the organizers of the show are going to be careful not to make people bored. It's basically going to be to entertain people, first of all, you know, and also refresh people's minds. And I'm sure that they are also targeting the lockdown housemates. And the reason I think so is because whilst the show was happening, they were the key players of the show. They were inside the house. So now that they are outside the house, I believe that currently as the show is airing, that's the highlight of the show is airing, they are probably recording the reunion show. So I feel like the organizers are sort of doing the housemates a favor as well, for them to watch themselves in action, to see themselves doing the things that they did back then whilst they were still housemates in the lockdown mansion, to refresh their memories of events that actually happened, how it happened. Because sometimes, you know, these housemates will be inside the house doing one or two things. Sometimes they will claim, or maybe they will feel they do not know what they were doing, or they do not remember what they were doing. So they themselves being on this side with us, the audience of the show, I feel like it's also a good opportunity for them to actually watch themselves in action, you know, doing the things that they did whilst they were in the house. So this is sort of going to, like, you know, prepare their minds for the actual reunion show, so that those people that are bearing grudges, they will carry that same fire, enter stage, go answer questions. There's gonna be a lot of basketballs anyways. Now guys, for today's episode of the Bbnaija lockdown highlights, it was all about the beginning, the start, the beginning, how everybody got into the house, and what actually ensued in the house on day 1 and day 2. I said that I have a strong feeling that whoever edited the show is trying to make the show, or this actual highlight all about Erica, is because on today's episode they showed day 1 and day 2, bits and pieces of events that actually happened on day 1 and day 2. And guys, remember, people like me, we actually watched everything, and we saw that, hey, there were about 20 housemates in the house. If I'm not mistaken, there were about 20 housemates in the house, and conversation was non-stop. Everybody was constantly talking. There was no single person that was sitting down alone at any given point in time. But then watching the day 1 and the day 2 of the highlights as shown to us by DSTV today, guys, I noticed that in as much as they were trying to bring to the screens, you know, 1 or 2 other housemates with their conversations, I noticed that they actually gave a lot of screen time to Erica. You know, when she, Lekon, Nengi, Kaisha, you know, when they were having conversations on how, on their backgrounds, you know, getting to know each other task on day 1, she shared her own parts as well. And then the part where people were trying to show their talent, Erica was catwalking, which was quite cute anyways. But guys, I saw all those things as the editor trying to send the signal to elites that, hey, elites, so people should come and watch. Your queen is going to be shown from day 1 to day whenever we decide to end the highlights, you know. But it was quite fun, guys, because in watching the day 1 and day 2 of the show, it reminded me completely of how I felt when the show originally began. It reminded me of how I really loved all the contestants, the housemates, you know. As at that time, I remember it was all good vibes. As at that time, it was very obvious that they did not realize or even understand that they were actually in a competition. So it was all good vibes. Everybody was all chilling. Everybody was happy. We saw how Erica and Lekon were bonding. You know, at some point, the editor had to even show us the part where Erica and Kidwaya were having conversations. And I'm like, okay, we get it. We get it. You're trying to shove it down our throats that these 2 people are going to later on become an item in the house, you know. But it was quite fun, guys, as I said, watching all those people that started off as friends from the earliest stage. We're talking about Ozo and Dorothy. You know, they were friends first before Ozo started chasing Nengi up and down inside the house. Yeah. There was also the part where Nengi won the HOH challenge, being the first housemate, not just housemate, but first female housemate to win the HOH challenge. That happened on day 1. Yeah, and that was the same day that Nengi chose Wathoni as her deputy, guys. If you cast your minds back, you find out that as at that time, Nengi knew Wathoni from way back, and she felt like saving Wathoni, you know, as deputy was going to give Wathoni some sort of immunity for her to stay on in the house. But then later on, some bad vibes and some bad blood started brewing between these 2 women, and then their relationship wasn't smooth anymore. The HOH challenge, there was also the task of getting to know yourselves. There was also the fun part of Katrina being the boss lady of the kitchen, cooking for everybody. You know, there was also that fun moment of all the housemates singing and Mama we cook food or Indomie sweet where that kind of thingy. They were dancing around and around in the kitchen. I saw the part where each and every one of the housemates, they had the opportunity to share their experiences. And I remember that very day that Lucy kept on crying and crying and crying. And guys, to be honest, Lucy, through her tears, she got the heart of the rest of the housemates. She bought their love. She invested in their emotional bank. But then after that period of getting to know yourselves, guys, Lucy became HOH, I think the following week, and then she became that terrible force to reckon with in the house, and people started to avoid her. But don't worry, let me not give you spoilers just yet. For those of you that did not follow the show back to back as I did, you're going to see all of that unfold in the following days. But I did not intend for this video to be too lengthy, guys. I just thought I should bear out my observations. You know, there wasn't a lot going on in today's episode of the Bbnaija lockdown highlights. All about good vibes, you know, everybody getting to know each other. Katrina sharing with the housemates about how she got married, you know, at a very early age to a man who was like 64 years old, a British, you know, shared that story. Also shared the story through his I feel like about how he wants to become like his father, you know. Erica once again talked about how she's angry that She met her dad only 3 years ago as at that time, and it made her angry that she only met her dad once in her lifetime. And once again, guys, I'm going to refer back to the statement I made at the beginning of this video. I have a very, very strong feeling that whoever is editing this Bbnaija highlights, this person is doing something, and I understand what the person is doing. I recognize what the person is doing. I can see what the person is doing. If you know what I mean, drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Okay, guys, I know what the person is doing. I can see through what the person is doing. But I'm just gonna chill out because today is only the first day of the highlights. Let's see what tomorrow is gonna bring. And as I said, guys, drop your thoughts in the comment section below and let me know what you think. Don't worry, you're not missing out much if you're not able to watch it. It's all about recap, okay? And I'll definitely do well to give you guys more updates as the highlights unfold. That said, this is where I'm going to end this particular video. I'll see you guys in another episode of Frankly Speaking with Glory. Have an amazing day. Good night.